Welcome to this most auspicious Title Update 1's Eve. I've got a out-of-bounds follow-up video for you. In this episode, I'm going to be tackling the Wounded Hollow, which I intentionally left out of the first episode because it didn't quite match the narrative that I was going for with the first one. But I'll also be looking at some of the suggestions that folks had in the comments. As always, if there's something that you can think of that you want me to see or check out, leave a comment down below. Let's get started. Alright, here we are, back in FreeCam, taking an aerial view of Suja. I've done my best on my end to disable as much as the volumetric fog as I can. It's still here in places, we're going to have to just deal with it. I wanted to get a quick overview of Suja and the ruins of Wyveria. The ruins are actually that bright white portion in the dead center of the capital city. As you can see, the frozen city and the Bailey Wall make about a half circle into the mountain that they've built into, and then Suja is just positioned kind of next to it, off to the side a little bit. And what I wanted to do was take a look at the castle rock spire structure that's above the ruins of Wyveria. The view from Suja, it doesn't really tell that great of a story. As you can see, the spire is kind of just this really low poly version of itself. It'd be fun to run around here, but I don't think there's much space to, especially not to fight monsters in. Okay, but where in the world is the Wounded Hollow? That was a question that I initially asked myself during the recording of the first episode when we were free camming over Suja, and I had a theory that it was this little ravine, but as you fly out over it, you don't see the Wounded Hollow whatsoever. And of course, the way to get to the Wounded Hollow is by going through the gate at the back of Suja, which if we do that in free cam, we don't get too far. The path just kind of ends right there. So obviously what we need to do is we need to go into the Wounded Hollow itself. So here we are in the Wounded Hollow. We can look out, and here, we'll even roleplay a little bit. I'm just a hunter on the ground. I can look out that direction, and I can see the frozen city. I can look out that way, I can see a ravine. I can look over here this way and see a Gravios. Ah, there is the Dalamadur skull that you could see. And it doesn't take a degree in taphonomy to understand that the giant ribs here are probably the Dalamadurs. Alright, zooming out here, we can see the Dalamadur skeleton. It's kind of intertwined with the ravine. I don't know if it necessarily made the ravine. How Dalamadurs shape the world is kind of up in the air. The Great Ravine of Monster Hunter World was allegedly created by a bunch of Dalamadurs, but here it kind of just looks like the Dalamadur is a fossil, especially with the way it's embedded specifically in the peaks. So here's the portion of the city that's sort of thawed out, that can be seen visually from the Wounded Hollow. And now we get to the bit where I reveal why I didn't cover the Wounded Hollow originally. There's Wyveria, everybody! What do you mean you don't recognize it? It's right there! So the Wounded Hollow is actually on a blockout version of the map. So where the heck is Suja? Well, if I had to go off of the basic topology of the blockout map, it would appear to be here. And the banners kind of attest to that. So as you can see, Suja's kind of not here. This is why in the comments of the first video, I was saying Suja is a special case, because, oh boy. Anyways, going back out the way we came, the path just sort of ends. So there's no real distinctive way to get to the Wounded Hollow from Suja. It makes me think that maybe it was either an early edition or an edition that they considered axing. I don't know. So, the Wounded Hollow doesn't load in with the rest of the map with any of the other locales. We know in Suja, it is the village associated with the Rime Chain Peaks, which is Jin Dahaad's arena. If the Wounded Hollow doesn't load in with the rest of the map, does it have an associated location? And the answer is yes. Yes, it does. If we go over here, we can see a very interesting blockout with a bunch of dirt and stone paths, and specifically a path vaguely coming from the direction of Suja, going down the cliff, wrapping around, and it looks to be some sort of grand stepped staircase leading down to a general area. I give to you the Grand Hub prior to Title Update 1, everybody. Yep, the Grand Hub is the associated region of the Wounded Hollow, which is kind of a no-brainer, especially since the Grand Hub features an arena counter that no other village or location does. So here it is, everybody. I'm recording this prior to Title Update 1. It'll be exciting to see if this changes. If I'm responsible, I will do another follow-up to this to check it out. What does this mean for future expansions? Well, I think what it means is it kind of puts a kibosh on us getting to explore or see things too early in development, because it seems any part of the map that they have in active development or for future development is going to happen on a separate BSP to integrate later onto the main map. So now we're just going to do some miscellaneous check-ins based on what viewers wanted to see explored. First up, let's go back to the Scarlet Forest, and here I'm going to show why they bother with having the locales all on this one big map. Even if it's not fully rendered in all the time, there are vistas such as this that you can see without free cam. But the cool fact is that that's exactly where the Wind's Gasp is relative to this position here on the Scarlet Forest. There were a couple of comments on the original video asking about the Great Lake. Time to explore, right? It's a bit anticlimactic, though. There's not much under here. There's the fish. Here we have a pinned tuna and a sushi fish. Here we have some more giant ribs, as is popular with the region. Here we actually have the feeder fish that all the other fish feed on. Duh. A lot of pinned tuna out today. Wowza. So here's the thing about the Great Lake. There's just this kind of globular fluid simulation happening. And now that we have fog disabled, best to our abilities, you can really see it. You wish, Alma. I'm always on that grind. Alright, so we're gonna come here to the Ice Shard during the inclemency. Although I do not think Jin Dahaad is actually here. I'm gonna have to try and farm for an encounter with him. Yeah, no luck on Jin Dahaad. And hold on, there's a tempered Hirabami coming in. So I just need to show you. There's a silly guy, he's coming in. And because he actually shows up on the map, it does mean he's actually coming into the locale. This is the Watchtower camp. It's the best camp on the map. To see the rest of the map, you come here during the plenty, and you can actually see this normally in normal gameplay. You don't need to free cam. Should be worth mentioning. And there he is! It's Jin Dahaad, everybody! This is his special version. He's a special boy. Now, I'm told I can repel him, and I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. And welcome back. Some folks were interested in what exactly this big apparatus in New Udra's nest was, and I had a suspicion that it was the base of the Everforge, but just to double check, we'll go ahead and take a look up. And as you can see, that's 100% the case. What's really interesting, actually, is that there is a lift all the way down here that does run. Here, if I unpause, yeah, you can see the conveyors going. When I came here earlier, you could actually see the lift platforms, but oh well. If you'd like more follow-up or out-of-bounds explorations, leave a comment down below. Like and subscribe, do all that algorithm stuff. I don't particularly care. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. I really just enjoy interacting with people. But anyways, until next time,